What if the dream actually works? What if the video you almost deleted becomes the one that changes your life? What if strangers start saying your name before you even introduce yourself? What if the thing you begged the algorithm for finally arrives and then refuses to leave? At first, fame looks like freedom. No boss, no alarm clock, no one telling you who to be, just money, attention, invitations, and a life that looks impossible from the outside. But every level has a price. At the bottom, you are invisible. Nobody cares what you make. Nobody waits for your next post. You can fail quietly, disappear quietly, start again quietly. It feels painful, but you still own your life. Then one day, people notice. A few thousand followers become a few 100,000. A few 100,000 become millions. Your face becomes a product. Your name becomes a business. Your private life becomes public property. The higher you climb, the more doors open, but the fewer exits remain. This is your life at every level of fame. You begin as someone posting into silence, hoping the world will blink in your direction. You end as a legend people talk about like they knew you, even when they never did. And somewhere between the first view and the final headline, you will learn the truth nobody tells you when you are still dreaming of being seen. Being unknown is lonely. Being famous is crowded. But being truly known might be the rarest level of all. Level 1, the invisible dreamer. You are invisible, not because you have no talent, but because nobody knows you exist. You work a regular job during the day and chase a dream at night. Every evening, you upload another video. Every morning, you check the numbers. 40 views, 20 views, maybe 60 if you're lucky. Most of the people watching are friends, family, or random strangers who never come back. Still, you keep going. While others relax after work, you're studying successful creators, analyzing thumbnails, titles, hooks, and posting schedules. You convince yourself there's a pattern hidden somewhere, a secret that separates people with millions of followers from people like you. Months turn into years. Your friends stop asking about your channel. Your parents wonder when you'll focus on something more stable. Deep down, part of you wonders the same thing. You don't have proof that this dream will work. You don't have investors, connections, or guarantees. All you have is a vision that refuses to leave your mind. Most people quit at this level. They get tired of creating for an audience that doesn't exist. They get tired of failing in silence. But every upload teaches you something. Every mistake sharpens your skills. Nobody is watching, yet you keep improving. Nobody is cheering, yet you keep showing up. What you don't realize is that this lonely stage is preparing you for everything that comes next. Because before the world believes in you, you must learn how to believe in yourself when absolutely nobody else does. Level 2, the first viral hit. Then it happens, not the kind of viral success that changes your life overnight. Just one video that performs far better than anything you've ever made. Instead of a few hundred views, it reaches tens of thousands. Your phone won't stop buzzing. Every time you refresh the app, the numbers are higher. For the first time, strangers are finding you. Your follower count jumps in a matter of days. People leave comments. People share your content. Some even recognize your profile picture before reading your name. The attention feels exciting, almost addictive. You check analytics before getting out of bed. You check them during lunch. You check them before sleeping. You tell yourself you're just curious. You're not. You're hooked. Brands begin sending emails. Small companies offer free products. Some offer $50 for a sponsored post. It isn't much money, but it's proof that someone believes your audience has value. So you accept almost every opportunity that comes your way. Every dollar feels like evidence that this dream might actually become real. At the same time, your normal life starts slipping. You're answering messages during work meetings. You're brainstorming content instead of paying attention to conversations. Your mind is no longer fully present anywhere. Part of it is always chasing the next upload. The hardest part is that you don't understand why the viral video worked. Was it the title, the timing, the thumbnail, the topic? You study it again and again, trying to find the magic ingredient. But the algorithm refuses to explain itself. Still, none of that matters right now. For the first time, the internet has noticed you. And once you've experienced that feeling, going back to being invisible becomes almost impossible. Level 3, full-time creator. One day you make the biggest decision of your life. You quit your job, not because you've become rich, not because you figured everything out. You quit because every spare hour is already going into content, and you're tired of wondering what would happen if you gave it everything. At first, it feels like freedom. No boss, no schedule, no one telling you what to do. You wake up whenever you want and spend the entire day creating. It feels like you've escaped the system. Then you realize something. You didn't escape work. You became responsible for all of it. Now every view matters. Every upload matters. Every month starts at zero. If you stop creating, the income stops too. The pressure that once came from a manager now comes from your own ambition. Your audience keeps growing. 10,000 followers become 50,000. 50,000 become 100,000. People assume you're making a fortune, but they don't see the expenses behind the scenes. New equipment, editing software, taxes, contractors, travel, and endless subscriptions slowly eat away at the money. The hardest surprise isn't financial, it's loneliness. Most days are spent talking to a camera. Most nights are spent editing footage of yourself. You spend so much time building your online life that your offline life starts shrinking. Friends from your old world slowly drift away because they can't relate to what you're doing anymore. So you find new people, other creators, people who understand analytics, burnout, sponsorship negotiations, and the anxiety of watching your livelihood rise and fall with an algorithm update. Late at night when you're questioning everything, they're usually awake too. For the first time, this doesn't feel like a hobby anymore. It's a business. It's your identity. And whether you're ready or not, you're beginning to realize that success isn't making life easier. It's simply replacing old problems with bigger ones. Level 4, the rising star. Then comes the moment you've imagined 1,000 times. 1 million followers. You still remember where you were when the number appeared on your screen. For years, reaching 1 million felt impossible. Now it's real. 1 million people chose to follow your journey. 1 million strangers decided you were worth a piece of their attention. Everything changes fast. Brands that once offered free products are now offering thousands of dollars for a single post. Agencies start calling. Managers want meetings. Lawyers review contracts. Accountants explain taxes you never knew existed. You slowly realize you're no longer running a channel. You're running a business. The money is better than anything you've earned before, but so are the responsibilities. Every opportunity creates new expectations. Every success raises the bar higher. People expect bigger videos, bigger ideas, bigger results. For the first time, fame starts leaking into real life. You get recognized in public. Someone stares a little longer than normal at a coffee shop. Someone asks for a photo while you're eating dinner. At first, it feels exciting. You smile all day after it happens. Then it starts happening more often. You begin noticing something else too. People treat you differently. Some genuinely admire your work. Others admire what your success can do for them. New friendships arrive faster than ever before, but trust becomes harder than ever before. You find yourself wondering who likes you and who likes access to your audience. Even dating changes. Some people already know everything about you before the first conversation. Others seem more interested in your following than your personality. The higher your profile grows, the harder it becomes to tell the difference. Meanwhile, your family watches your life transform from a distance. You help your parents financially. You buy gifts you could never afford before. They are proud of you, but they also struggle to understand the strange world you've entered. From the outside, this level looks like the dream. Inside, it feels different. Because the more people know your name, the more carefully you have to protect the person behind it. And for the first time, you start wondering whether fame is giving you freedom or quietly taking it away. Level 5, the famous name. You are no longer just an internet creator. You are a name. People recognize you at airports, restaurants, shopping malls, and even in countries you've never visited before. A quick trip to buy coffee now comes with photos, conversations, and constant attention. At first, it's flattering. Then it becomes normal. Your work has expanded beyond social media. Maybe it's a movie role, a best-selling book, a successful product, or a business carrying your name. Whatever it is, your influence now reaches far beyond the platform where you started. Money stops being your biggest concern. Trust becomes the real challenge. Everyone has advice. Everyone has opportunities. Everyone knows someone with the perfect investment. Some people genuinely want to help. Others want access to your success. Learning the difference becomes one of the most expensive lessons of your life. The internet becomes more dangerous too. Millions of people feel like they know you. They've watched your highs, your failures, your relationships, and your personal struggles. They feel connected to you, but most of them only know a version of you that exists on a screen. One bad interview, one clipped sentence, one misunderstood moment. Suddenly, millions of strangers have an opinion. Your team helps manage the chaos, but you begin realizing something important. The bigger your audience becomes, the less control you have over your own story. People don't just watch you anymore. They interpret you. And sometimes the version of you they create is more powerful than the real person you've always been. Level 6, the brand. At some point, you stop being a person with an audience and become a brand with a business attached to it. Your name is trademarked. Your logo appears on products. You have employees, contracts, meetings, and people whose careers depend on your continued success. The strange part is that creating content is no longer your main job. Managing everything becomes your main job. Your days fill with calls, negotiations, approvals, and decisions. Teams bring you ideas. Editors create videos. Managers handle partnerships. Lawyers review documents. What once started with a camera and a dream now operates like a company. The money is bigger than ever, but so is the pressure. One mistake doesn't just affect you anymore. It affects everyone working under your name. Your audience begins noticing changes too. Some loyal fans say you've changed. Some accuse you of becoming less authentic. Deep down, part of you understands why. The version of you they fell in love with had time to create. The version of you today spends most of the day managing. Success has finally arrived. But something unexpected disappears along the way. The simplicity, the freedom, the feeling of creating just because you loved it. And for the first time, you start wondering whether you're still building the dream or simply maintaining it. Level 7, the celebrity. Now you're famous in a way that can't be turned off. Cameras follow you. Headlines mention you. Photos of ordinary moments somehow become news. A quick dinner, a beach vacation, even a morning coffee can end up online before the day is over. You stop reading comments. Then you stop reading articles about yourself altogether. It's easier that way. Dating becomes complicated. Trust becomes complicated. Every new relationship comes with questions. Is this person interested in you or the world surrounding you? Sometimes even you can't tell. Family changes too. Success attracts requests. Old relatives suddenly reappear. Distant connections become business opportunities. At first you try helping everyone. Eventually you learn a painful lesson. Without boundaries, generosity becomes a trap. The strange thing is that you have never been more visible, yet you've never felt more protected from the world. Assistants manage your schedule. Publicists manage your image. Teams manage access to your time. Millions of people know your face. Very few people actually know you. And the higher your fame climbs, the smaller that circle becomes. Level 8, the institution. You've been famous for so long that your name no longer feels tied to trends. New creators enter the industry because they grew up watching you. Your work is referenced, studied, and copied by people who weren't even around when you started. You've become part of the landscape. Awards that once seemed impossible now sit on shelves collecting dust. Companies ask for your endorsement. Universities invite you to speak. Charities want your support. Your influence reaches far beyond content. But success at this level creates a new challenge. Your biggest competitor is no longer someone else. It's your younger self. Every new project gets compared to your greatest work. Every release is measured against a version of you that exists only in people's memories. No matter how much you accomplish, some audiences will always miss who you used to be. Meanwhile, your wealth has grown beyond your own lifetime. You're no longer thinking about next year. You're thinking about future generations. How do you raise children who never have to struggle? How do you teach discipline when they've never experienced scarcity? The questions become heavier. The responsibilities become larger. And after decades of success, something unexpected begins appearing more often. fatigue. Not because you're failing, because carrying a legacy is exhausting. Yet people still expect you to keep going, so you do. Level 9. The icon. At this level, you've become bigger than your career. People who have never watched your videos, read your books, or listened to your work still know your name. You're no longer just a creator or celebrity. You're a symbol of an era. Documentaries are made about your life. Journalists write books about your journey. Young creators study your success the same way you once studied others. Your influence stretches across generations. But fame has reached a strange point. The world sees you everywhere, yet almost nobody sees the real you. Every opinion becomes news. Every silence becomes a statement. Millions of people expect you to speak, lead, inspire, or react. No matter what you do, someone is disappointed. Privacy barely exists anymore. Security, private entrances, and carefully controlled schedules become normal parts of life. You can't remember the last time you walked into a crowded place without being recognized. Sometimes late at night, you think about the person you used to be. The unknown creator posting videos to almost nobody. The dreamer who wanted attention more than anything. You finally got it. More than you ever imagined. Yet a question keeps returning. How much of yourself was traded away to get here? And for the first time, you're not completely sure of the answer. Level 10. The myth you survived long enough to become a legend. The trends came and went. Entire platforms rose and disappeared. New stars replaced old stars, then got replaced themselves. Somehow your name remained. Young people learn about you from clips created before they were born. Your work is archived, quoted, analyzed, and remembered by people you've never met. The career that once felt temporary has become part of history. Your life is quieter now. Most of the people who stood beside you at the beginning are gone or growing old alongside you. The managers, agents, competitors, and friends who helped shape your journey exist mostly in photographs and memories. You spend more time looking backward than forward. And when you do, you realize something surprising. There was never a formula. Not really. People spent decades trying to decode your success. They studied your content, your decisions, your timing. They searched for a secret blueprint. But the truth was much simpler. A little talent, a lot of obsession, unreasonable persistence, and enough belief to keep going when nobody cared. Sometimes you think about the younger version of yourself, the one staring at a screen, refreshing analytics, hoping for a breakthrough. The one who thought fame would solve everything. You wish you could tell that person what was coming. The opportunities, the money, the recognition, but also the sacrifices, the privacy, the freedom, the ordinary life that slowly disappeared along the way. Then again, maybe you wouldn't say anything at all. Because if that younger version knew the full cost, they might never have started. And without that dream, none of this would have existed. At level 1, you wanted people to notice you. At level 10, the entire world knows your name. Between those 2 points lies a journey filled with victories, failures, opportunities, and sacrifices. Every level gave you something. Every level took something too. At first, you trade comfort for possibility. Later, you trade privacy for influence. Eventually, you trade simplicity for legacy. That's the truth about fame. The rewards grow larger as you climb, but so does the price. And in the end, the people who reach the very top often discover that the thing they were chasing was never fame itself. It was meaning. It was purpose. It was the feeling that their life mattered. The irony is that you didn't need millions of followers to find that. But by the time you realize it, you've already become part of the story that millions of others are trying to follow. And somewhere tonight, an unknown creator is uploading a video to an audience of almost nobody, dreaming of reaching the place you once stood. The cycle begins again.